funky tunes for a funky stream. Coming in at ya on the Crazy Crafter live stream. Welcome everyone, welcome to the Crazy Crafter live stream. My name is Collin. I am the Crazy Crafter. Although I would argue that I'm not the craziest of crafters because I'm not the one creating craziness in Blender and then incorporating into my builds. Now that's crazy. That's cray-cray. That's you, bro. That's you, bro.
Oh.
That you be the craziest of crazy crafters out there. A close second behind Zane Morgan, though, is our dear friend Michael Patterson from Nat One Videos. Michael Patterson, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm groovy, my friend. Just chilling here on this fantastic Wednesday. Hey guys, I'm streaming on a Wednesday again. I'm very, very excited to be here, hanging out with both of you on this lovely hump day, midweek stream. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So thrilled to be hanging out with all of you out there in the stream as well. As always, who do we got out there? We've got CrossFim Campaign Terrain is out there. Tina Martins is out there. Richard Smith, good evening, Richard Smith. Welcome to the stream. Some random creeper named Mini Mason's out there too. Slavko, welcome to the stream.
They let anyone in.
They let anyone in here. Oh no! Shots fired. Shots fired.
Boom, boom.
Jesse from Night Terrain is out there. Hello, hello. Zane Morgan, I'm digging the new logo there. I love the new logo. That is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
There's an Amy Root out there. Have to go to class in 15 minutes, but love you guys. Well, we love you too, Root. Thanks for dropping in. And that's Laura's out there in the stream. Welcome, Laura. Welcome everyone to the stream. We're very excited to have Mr. Zane Morgan from Zane Morgan Crafts back with us. We're gonna continue our Blender tutorial. For those of you that don't know, you can create your own printable 3D terrain in Blender. It's a free program, which you can find in a link to the description below. And Zane's created just a couple of... Zane's a madman. Look at that madman over there. That madman has all this stuff. Hold that up there. Let's see if we can get an Insta-hand up there.
Get focus.
Can we get that focus? Get an Insta-hand. Amy's going to yell at us if we don't get the Insta-hand going.
Yep, that looks good.
That looks really good. So...
And this is the door that we made on the stream.
That's the door we made on the stream a couple weeks, almost a couple weeks ago now. And that's the joy and beauty of Blender is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a great program that you can play around with. I know Michael's starting to go down the rabbit hole pretty hard and getting ideas. I mean, we're already we're already in Wonderland, you know, Zane, Michael, and I, but Blender's just another it's another level of Wonderland, right? And there's a lot of really cool things that you can do to accent your terrain pieces. And one of the great things that Zane has developed on his channel is he's got a Blender tutorial for you folks over there. So if you haven't seen his Blender tutorial, if you haven't subscribed to Zane Morgan Crafts, head on over there, smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so you can check out all the new content when Zane releases it.
I'll go get a link.
Yeah, that would be... Thank you, sir. In addition to that, he's got an Etsy store as well. And you can grab some really cool STL files if you're kind of like me and you're like, I love Blender, but I'm lazy AF and don't want to spend all that time. You've got an amazing crafter right there that's putting together some really cool STL packages for you too. So Zane's got that available up on his Etsy shop. And what is the name of the Etsy store? Is it just Zane Morgan?
It's Zane Morgan Crafts.
Zane Morgan Crafts as well, right?
Try and keep everything
on brand.
The same.
On brand, baby.
Yep.
So we like that. Speaking of on brand, down there in the lower right hand corner. I heard you, Zane. We've got multiple screens set up here for Zane's stream today, so one of them some volume just popped through. But we're proudly sponsored by Cantrip Coffee Roasters. If you have not yet ordered your Cantrip Coffee, head over to cantripcoffeeroasters.com. Submit the Crazy Crafter 10 at checkout. That's the discount code to get you a little bit of a discount on your coffee subscription. I'm sipping on the Honduras blend this morning, but definitely give Cantrip Coffee some love. Our good buddy Derek Ludwig from Pocket Tea Craft and also Cantrip Coffee. Thank you so much for the love and support you give to this channel. We heart you and we heart your coffee. I heart your coffee just a little bit more. It helps jumpstart the day for shizzle. Okay, speaking of jumpstarting the day, Michael, are you ready to jump in here and see where we're gonna continue off today?
I am. It depends where Zane starts.
Okay, Zane, where do you want to start today?
So I thought we would start right where we left off, which on my screen was we finished the door as far as shaping and everything, yes. And I think I created a quick what's it called? Bolt onto the door.
Yes.
So I'm gonna scrap the bolts that I showed you, and I'm gonna make them the way that I actually would. And then after that, I'm just gonna show you how to texture,
Cool.
and then we can just make whatever we want after that.
Awesome. I've
If
already
you have questions, I can help with that.
I have a confession. I kind of went ahead and already started. And I printed out something really cool that I totally designed myself. I totally designed this myself and didn't use your sewer STL files to print this out. And it isn't a build that I did with Derek Ludwig on the sewer making things. I'm using today's stream to paint up things that I want to paint. But to give you an example, right? To give you an example of what you can create. Zane we were having a conversation. You're like, hey, what would be some cool things to like have on standby? Like, what would be a cool STL package? And we were brainstorming, and we came up with like the sewer tile idea you had, and I was like, that's brilliant. Like, you could totally print out a bunch of different stuff. And you started like sending me pictures, and you were sharing as Zane was creating this stuff. How long ago is this now? This is several months ago. You created this, and you were already doing these projects because you had some railing that you've created. But it's just little things like this where the STL design into your builds are really cool, and with a little bit of knowledge, you can go do quite a bit. Like Michael, if Zane can teach Michael and I in a couple hours, Danny's good. But if he can teach Michael and I in a couple hours how to create digital 3D renderings,
I've kind of forgotten nearly everything from last time.
But that's because we just haven't done it. Like, we will. Like, we'll get. But it just takes a little bit of practice. But these doors that Zane's gonna walk us through right now, brilliant, simply brilliant. That can be used.
Zane's gonna walk us through the door.
Zane is gonna walk through the door. Walks through the door, baby. Walks through the door. Love it.
Here, I'm just showing off little things that I've made and printed.
What's your favorite thing you've crafted so far in Blender, Zane, for the tabletop?
The bridge.
The bridge? Oh, we'll show that.
Yeah.
You can't just point to it. You gotta show it.
It's heavy. This is okay.
No.
So resin is expensive,
Yes.
and
Yes.
okay, well, it's not super expensive, but when you build something large scale like this, it becomes expensive. So this bridge is at least $100 worth of resin. But yeah, these are resin. The roof is not resin. This is foam core and cardboard, but
Dude.
the base structure of this is resin.
Designed by whom?
Designed by moi.
Yeah.
And this has lights inside of it, so I made sure I put wiring channels in it. Yep.
Oh, you designed the wiring channels in the Blender in the 3D print build? I didn't know that. Yep. Or if you did, I'd forgotten that you had designed that in there. That's really cool.
There's the lights.
Dude.
Super cool, man.
It's one of the coolest bridges. I want that. I just think at some point, when is your print store happening? Like, in addition to the STL files, when are you going to start printing stuff and shipping it out? Because that's one of the cooler pieces of terrain I've ever seen printed resin-wise as well. It's just nuts.
Thank you.
Just nuts.
I have sent out prints to people, like Derek of Cantrip Coffee. I've sent him a couple prints here and there. So like special requests, I can work with people, but it's not my main objective is a print service, because there's a lot of people out there
Don't say anything, but you and I actually have a top secret project. It's not a top secret project. I will tell everyone. It's a future Fights on Foam diorama. Zane and I have talked about it quite a while ago, and we need to give ourselves time, because that's it's a pretty big project, and Zane and I are going to collaborate on something that'll be pretty cool. I do want to do that. That'll probably be that's after the show is finished and closed. That's when that project will happen.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
I got
one in
some
August.
projects, collabs with a couple people here.
Nice.
So I'm excited for the future of my channel and helping out other people and incorporating my work with their work and seeing what we create. So
kind of the whole point, right? Getting to sharing the knowledge and help enhance everyone else's skill set and have some fun along the way, right? Okay, you want to dive into Blender here and
Sure.
see how this goes. So whenever you're ready,
May I ask a question before you go into
please.
the door?
I wish you would.
So
No.
I know how you can add an object and make it a cube or a sphere or something like that. Do you know how to make an octagonal?
Yep. So it'll be a cylinder.
Okay, so add mesh, add.
So here, I'll show you on the screen so everyone can.
Here, well, transition.
You ready for me to transfer?
I'm ready. Transfer it. Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2,
right.
3. Sync.
Whoop.
Boom.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, once I have that octagonal thing, then I might just kind of fiddle around with that because I'm behind you on the door anyway. So you carry on with the door, and I'll see if I can figure this out.
Yep. So we're gonna go under the add menu once you're in edit mode, or if you're in object mode, it'll be add mesh.
Yep.
And then you're gonna select cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little menu should pop up in the bottom left corner. It'll say add cylinder on it.
Yep.
Okay, then your top one where it says vertices, you'll just type in 8 per octagon.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then that will give you an octagon.
That is perfect. Okay, cool. I'm going to play with this.
Have fun. Okay. So this is where we had left off. This is this wonderful shape here. Now, I said I'm going to redo the bolts because I think they're ugly. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to select all the vertices. And that was with Shift B. Or, sorry, just B. And then clicking. Then we're going to hit X and delete the vertices. And we're going to center the cursor on one of these strips. So we're going to highlight those vertices, hit Shift S, and then cursor to selected. And that's going to bring our center point to the middle of that selection. What's up, Collin?
I got rid of because I'm using my cheapo zoom cam on the gallery view for us here. So I just switched it over to my fancy DSLR just because I wanted to. I was doing a silly wipe. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about. I'm over here chewing scenery. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I just see you making faces. I'm like, oh, I lost him.
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, so we're gonna do pretty much what I did just with Michael. We're gonna add a cylinder, and instead of an octagon, I usually do hexagons for the bolts because real life, or they might be I don't know, but it's a shape. So then we're gonna go to the side view. I hit the Y viewpoint, and then I hit R to rotate and hit 90, and that's gonna turn it 90 degrees on its axis. So now we have a front-facing hexagon.
Nice.
And now we're going to adjust. We're going to scale it by hitting S. Then we're going to grab it on the Y. And we're going to center that over one of the doodads in the picture.
That's a technical Blender term, the doodad.
Yes, doodad. And now we're going to move it back over to the Y view. And if you see, it is in the center of it, and it is not visible to the model. So we're going to hit scale again. So that's S and X, and that's going to bring it outwards, and that's going to bring it on both sides. And now we're going to have fun. And we're going to go over to the top left menu and select face mode. That's going to change your view to this. So see, there's these little points in the middle. We're selecting those end faces there.
Whoa.
And what we're going to do is we're going to inset. So we're going to hit I on the keyboard. And that's going to go inward on the face. And this is how we're going to create a bevel. And then we're going to go back into that Y view, hit scale. So S and then X, pull it out. Okay. And there we go. There's a bolt.
Super cool.
Fun, fun, fun.
Not just a
I think
round
it's
bolt,
sticking
but
out
a
too far.
beveled bolt.
Absolutely. We don't do
It's-
it half-ass here.
Frustrating how easy you make it look.
It's not that
It'll be easy for you too.
Mini Mason, it's not. Mini Mason was laughing. He says Michael doesn't look like he's having fun. It's not that. It's the same look that I have on my face because we're trying to, like, it's a, you know, we're newbies to it. So we like. I think it's because we're genuinely. You just wait. Like, I have a theory in a short period of time, Michael's gonna be creating some pretty dope stuff via Blender because he's like the type of personality, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, friend, but you want to get better. Like, Michael really wants to, like, Michael's going to master Blender is what's going to end up happening.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I also do have what my wife calls resting bitch face, so.
RBF.
Well, there you go. So there it is. So it's not just that. It could just be the RBF Mini Mason.
Okay, so on that note, we're going to duplicate our selection here. So that bolt, so it's Shift D, and then we're going to grab it on the Y. We're going to center that over the next bolt, and then we're going to repeat. So now we got all 4 of those bolts on the door. We're going to select by box selecting, that's B. And then we're going to hit Shift D, GZ to grab it and bring it down on the Z. And now we got all 8 of those bolts on the door. That's a little speed run for y'all.
Yeah, that's definitely a speed run.
Okay, so I'm saying that part's done so we can move on to the texturing because I know I missed that part on the original stream.
Let's talk about some texture.
Tina had asked me about it specifically, so.
Okay.
Or
What was the specific
Tina or
question,
Carl,
do you remember?
both of them, maybe. Okay, so what we're gonna do is actually first we're gonna select the vertices for these beams and the bolts, and we're going to put them on a new plane so that when I'm doing my texturing, they won't get textured. And so what we're going to do is after selecting all those, we're going to hit P on our keyboard, and we're going to separate by selection.
Okay.
And now they are on a different object plane. So now if you go into object mode, you can grab them and pull them away. But for now, we're actually, no. Yes, we're doing that, but no, I'm not going to do it. I was just going to do it. So we're going to select that door. We're going to go back into edit mode, and now we're going to add the, what's it called? The edges of the door.
Okay.
And by blah, blah, blah. How did I do this? What do I want to do? Okay, so we're going to make it one in the middle. So we're going to add a loop cut. So that's Control R right here. Control R here. I'm going to select both of those. And Danny had done this already.
Of course he had.
Because Danny. And I lied. We're going to go back. So Control Z. Okay, so we're going to loop cut, but we're going to bring it up closer. So we're going to do 0.5, but we're going to hit minus on the keyboard, and that's going to move it opposite. Okay. And now we're just going to select that middle vertice. And then we're going to go into the top view, skew it on the X. If you see, that's moving that inward. So that gives us an indentation, which then looks
cool.
like
an open
panel.
A door you can open in the middle.
And then we're going to do that on 2 others to create 2 more planks. So that's a loop cut. Control Z, you get Zane Morgan. Yes, Tina, that is accurate.
Control Z, you get Zane Morgan. It's true. What is it? Is it Janice from The Good Place? Hi.
I fucking love The Good Place.
The Good Place is awesome, and Janice is fucking steals the show.
Janet, I think it is.
Or it's Janet. It's Janet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Control Z to get to get the Zane Morgan equivalent of Janet. Dope. We'll take it.
Okay. So we got the board selected there, and now we're going to add texture. So what we're going to do is we're going to add more loop cuts, so it gives us more area to play with, or points to play with when we're doing texture, because all texturing is making indentations in the model. And to do that, we need more points of alteration. So I usually do about 20 per section here.
20. Why 20?
Just it gives you a multitude of points in that small space. So for each one, I'm typing in 20 and moving over to a new area. And if you see now, the model's looking really hectic. Now, if you're getting into a skinnier section like this one, you can bring it down to half. So we'll do 10 for those. Okay. And now we're going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to do Control R in the middle. And see how it's taken the shape of the arch there? We're going to go right to about the edge of where the arch starts. We're going to click, and then we're going to hit Scale, Z, and 0. And that'll make it look silly. So we're going to hit G and Z and bring it back down to where that is. So now we have a flat space to work with. And then we're going to loop cut this by 100.
Ooh.
Yep. And then for this upper arch, we're going to do 80. So now it looks mad like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to where it says edit menu, go down to sculpt mode. And now that brings us back into the solid view. And we're going to go over to this second tool on the left side. It says draw sharp. And radius.
I like that. Draw
at
sharp.
The top here, we're going to bring that to about 14. And that's going to be the size of the indentation tool. And now this is where our craft skills transfer over from foam. And it's just like how you would draw on wood grain on foam. You just go in and start drawing. And this is just by right clicking and dragging.
Oh, so you're adding it manually. That's cool.
That's also cool the way it goes behind the crossbar.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we moved the crossbar onto a different plane.
Right.
Because if we didn't do that, it would be drawing into it.
That's nuts. It's the digital version of the clay sculpting tool right now.
Yep.
Or your wire brush. It's cool.
And I like to have fun with it. Like I'll do different grain types because they're different boards. And again, people, we are just drawing.
Mini Mason says he's like, yeah, I'm watching this with my face with half open mouth and stupid look on his face. Is what Mini Mason is saying.
So a normal day.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I knew it. As soon as I was like, uh-oh, someone's gonna.
I call that Tuesday.
Love you, buddy. I'm waiting for the backlash from him now. The counter. But yeah, I find this translates well in the prints. And the deeper you go, the more better.
The more better.
The better it looks. And say you didn't like that line that you just drew, just hit Control Z and it goes back. Okay. But if you notice, it'll just do it on that side. So you have to do it again on the back side. But that's okay. But that's the way you can add different grain.
Say again.
You okay there? You were like,
I thought I heard like little feet running around, and I had like bound out rat like moment.
PTSD.
I was like, are they in here right now? Like we haven't had a sighting in forever. None of the traps have been. I was just like I'm glad. Thank you for checking in. It was just me hearing. I thought I heard rats. So
it's like, has he had a stroke?
No, I was just like, what is
Poor
that
Collin.
sound? Dude, they cannot stay. They gotta go. Anyway, no stroke. I'm good.
Well, yeah, I'm just doing this fast. And if you have a pen tablet, which I don't think anyone here does, but in case you did, like an artist palette for the computer, you can do it on there. Say you want a knot, you could draw a knot in there, and then you can increase the radius and just start gouging it out.
Gouge it.
And I think those look really good.
Oh, I like that. Just gives it, like you said, more. It just adds more texture.
Mm-hmm.
More
adds
texture,
more interest.
please.
But yeah,
Okay.
There is some wood texture on our door, so now it is a wood door.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
So how would you add a doorknob to that? Pretty much in a similar way that you did those bolts?
Yeah, so with these medieval doors, I've been doing just kind of like a loop handle. I don't know what I would call that. But let's go into object mode. We're going to add, we're going to start with a cube so it can be the base of the doorknob. And we're just going to move it into the position that you want. Scale it down.
So yeah, can you just show me that part again? Adding a new, because
yeah,
that's actually
so
what I'm trying to figure out right now. I want to add a new mesh, but it just is adding it into the center of what I'm doing, but I want to add it in another section of the whole grid.
So it's going to add wherever your cursor is. And that you can change that by, here, let's go into edit mode. Say you select some vertices. Say we want it to spawn over here. You just highlight some vertices, you hit Shift S, and then cursor to selected.
Yeah, but can you add a new object somewhere else completely on the grid?
Yeah. So if you click, just right click anywhere, it'll see how this is following me, this cursor.
If I'm in an object, which mode do I need to be in?
It doesn't matter. Or actually, sorry, it is in edit mode.
Go into edit mode. It's if I right click it, because I'm not on a Mac, it's bringing up a menu.
Left click then? What's it doing there?
Cool. It's a side channel conversation anyway. Don't get distracted by this.
Okay. But I mean, say it does spawn somewhere that you don't want, you can just hit G and grab it and move it wherever you want on the screen. But I'm going to go back into object mode. I'm going to add a cube. I'm going to scale that down. Go into edit mode. Hey, Carl, welcome.
Welcome, Carl.
And if I missed anyone, hello, welcome. I am distracted by computer things.
Who's distracted by computer you?
Me.
Computer thing? You mean like the tutorial?
I tell you what, I'll go into the chat and I'll see if I can catch you guys up.
Okay, then I'm going to inset that face, so we're hitting I, and we're doing the same thing as we were with the bolts. And then we're skewing on the X, and that's going to give us a nice beveled square. Say we want to make it a little more interesting looking, we're going to subdivide that by 2 on both sides.
Mini Mason says, I thought it was Control Shift ZM. Zane Morgan.
So we're going to select those edges, and it's going to pull it out and give it a cool shape. And let's go in the middle here. We're changing that cursor, so Shift S. And now we're going to add a torus. And what that is basically a donut. And we're going to use that as the handle. So we're going to go on the y-axis, hit R to rotate 90. We're going to grab that on the X. And we want this to be embedded into the door. That way, when it prints, we don't have to support it. And
nice.
We're going to scale that down so it's thinner. And then we're going to grab it on the Z, put it in about the middle. We got that. But say you don't want it a perfect circle, you can skew it on the Z, and you can change the shape.
That's cool.
And we're going to make it a little more interesting, so we're going to rotate it a little bit. Cool. And now we want to duplicate that. So Shift D, we're going to grab it on the X, and then we're going to rotate it 100, or we don't even have to do that. We can just rotate it to match. I got a doorknob. Now that does look a little comical just because of the size, but I mean, you can play with it and make it how you like. There's the one. Oh wait, we don't have my screen up.
Which screen? Which screen are you talking about?
I have the camera, or, oh wait, no, it is.
Yeah, they can see it. They can see
Blonde moment. But see, it looks
nice.
appropriately sized
YouTube,
on
I'm
that
called
one.
Lucy.
Say again.
On YouTube, I'm just realizing that my name's coming up, and it's Lucy today.
Oh, perfect.
I think it was last time too.
Lucy.
But yeah, guys, that's how you make a door.
That's how we make a door, yo. Well, this is good. If you guys, what is it? That's cute, but how does it hold on to the metal plate? Mini Mason, are you being silly? You're being silly.
You can add another square and do it that way, Carl.
Well, this is a prime opportunity. If you guys have any questions or you have something you want to ask Zane about Blender, put it in the chat here. Let us know, so we can make sure we filter that on up to Mr. Zane Morgan, and we can get the brilliant mind with Blender on it for you, and we can either answer your question or send you down the pathway to resolve the answer. Zane, what are we looking at here? These are a lot, just a different various.
These are the doors that I've been working on.
Let's walk us through these doors. What are we looking at here?
One moment.
Don't tell me to
I'm gonna show off a exclusive.
Ooh, an exclusive. Ooh, l'executive exclusive. We'll take it.
If my computer lets me.
I really like the door with the rivets.
Yeah.
You like the what?
I like the door with the rivets.
Rivet.
This one?
Yep.
Or the big one?
Actually, both of those are like, I think those would be cool to paint up. It'd be fun.
Yeah, so this one I'm still working on. Actually, this on this computer is the older version. I have more texture in it on my other computer, but
So wild.
this is one of my favorites. Just because it's different. And Slavko mentioned that these details look like penises, but you know, on brand.
A surprise that Slavko mentioned that. I mean, I think Slavko's revealing a lot about himself, you know?
Yeah.
Right. So here is what I've been working on.
That is awesome.
Let's see it.
These.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So this is my next project.
Jeebus crikey. Look at this.
Okay, I have questions.
You have questions. So this is going to be a clock tower build, and the original plan was to create it partially in foam, partially in 3D printed pieces, which still might happen, but with my addition of the FDM printer, I also wanted to see how well it would print on the FDM printer. But yeah, if you are a subscriber of Zane Morgan Crafts, this is going to be an episode here coming up.
So,
but this is based on a clock tower in Adelaide, Australia. So, but go ahead. What's your question?
So, can you see those little lintel holders underneath? Yes, those bits.
Yeah.
Are those individual other things, like, so you know the way I said create a separate part and then you've kind of stuck them to the side of it?
Yep.
So, and because that's pretty much, I mean, it's not exactly what I want. It's not the same shape, but that's kind of what I want. Ah, cool.
Absolutely.
So you can take it all apart. That's cool.
Yeah,
And so
it's like
and you've got it in
Legos.
a way you can snap it to grid so that you can snap it into the right place, or do you move it around manually?
No, this is just manual. But there's the base building removed.
Everything you just did would make me cry right now if I did it in Blender. Like, I'd be like, I don't know how to put it back together.
Oh, it's so cool.
Isn't that rad?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what I want to make using Blender is so achievable whenever I see Zane do it. How long have you been doing Blender for, Zane?
So I've been using Blender since I went to art school, and that was back in like 2008, 2011.
Okay,
But
about
it was just more like casual messing around with things. But when I was in high school, I used a program called Bryce, which is similar but not as intuitive, and that's really what got me hooked into the whole 3D design thing. But I mean, more seriously, like actually working on things, it was probably 4 years ago I started working on Blender more seriously.
Okay. So it takes 4 years to get to this. Damn it.
Yeah, someone actually dedicated and, you know, working with it can do this in, I mean,
see, I'm not this
month.
Like, I'm not, you know, the way there's a normal way of learning things, which is, right, let's make a simple thing and then we'll make a slightly more complicated thing, and then once I've learned how to do that, I'll make a slightly more complicated thing. I hate that system of doing things. I just want to go straight for the really, really cool thing at the end of the tunnel.
I'm the same way though.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean,
I feel
it's
that,
called being an artist.
right. Also, I just feel like that's the type of artist you are too, Michael. Is like, I think any one of us, just like Dane, or like when Zane was demonstrating right now, if you took the next 4 weeks and devoted a little bit of time, in the evening, the problem is like there are other components. Like this is the trick with the hobby, right? It's like there's so many other like builds to either happen or paint, and then like it's if you dedicated the next month or so to it, you would be easily able to create any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think I would be able to do some stuff, but it's like whenever I did mini painting, I started mini painting. It was like I literally didn't do anything else for a couple of weeks, and then I'm not making videos anymore, and da 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 da. You know, it's it just takes you.
But look
off.
at you now. Your mini painting is amazing. I mean, that episode that Elston came on, I was like, "Holy crap, Michael!"
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at my stuff.
That was
like,
a master class, wasn't it? It was pretty good.
But this model I have up here, this is what I based. This is my original concept for the bridge. And my giant epic build that I've been working on forever. This is what spawned that. And if you look, it's just the entrance of this big ass town. So
cool.
You know.
How long did that take?
I mean, for me, Blender is the conceptualizing phase of everything. I can just throw it up and then figure it out for foam builds. And how long did this take me? Good question, because this was made like 3-4 years ago. But I want to say maybe a day or two.
That's still amazing.
And I think, yeah, let's go into this. I haven't actually played with this in a while. So here it is in the vertices. So it's not that, it's pretty low poly because this was made for a video game. So the texture or the meshes for it aren't that complicated. But now if I were to translate this for 3D printing like I did, I would add vertices in here to smooth this out, make it more circular. But in a video game, it translates with textures and all that.
This was so on the camping trip when we were away after the last time you were on the stream, Zane. It's not long ago. We were up on the camping trip, and the conversation of like, oh, what are some things that you were interested in, Ben? Like, what do you every once in a while, like, well, we were just sitting around the campfire at night before he was getting ready for bed, and it was kind of quiet, and I was sitting there, and I was just like, we're talking about school, talking about a bunch of stuff, and the conversation of like, he was asking questions about my work, and the theater, and I was just like, what are you thinking? What's interesting to you? What do you want to work on? Like, what are you wanting to do now? And he kind of like sat there, and he like put some pause and thought to it, and he was just like, I kind of think I want to do video game design. Like, I was just like, ooh. I was like, well, I was just like, I'm gonna start him up. I mean, I've got some good starter videos for him now, Zane. Between the streams now and your stuff, like, I bet you, like, that's something that he wanted. He was asking, like, when he could, like, because he loves playing around on Hero Forge, and he likes designing and creating all the characters on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I legitimately am gonna just start opening up Blender and letting Ben mess around in it and start playing with stuff, because why not?
So for me, I loved like The Sims.
Yes.
Because I mean, I love architecture. I love building. So in The
Mhm.
Sims, I didn't really ever play, like I did, but the base game where you're playing the families and stuff, it was more about building the houses and creating stuff.
Right.
And, I mean, kids have Minecraft and stuff now, which I've never played, but I mean, it seems along the same lines.
Ooh,
So
you would like Minecraft.
the sandbox style creation thing.
It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, it's just virtual crafting.
Yeah.
Minecraft is virtual Legos, legit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I think those are great stepping stones for kids or anyone wanting to get into a career in that, or at least a hobby. I mean, it's some low, like, you don't have to put in any money because it's all on the computer, unless it's like the base cost of the program. But like me making stuff on Blender, that's costing me nothing. All that it's costing me is time.
Right.
But I mean, that's an investment in my skill or my craft, and I take that and I teach myself things. I watch other people's tutorials, and you know, that's what I love about YouTube and all this stuff is in this community is we can all shoot ideas off of each other, figure out what worked for you, what didn't work, and collectively just create these awesome things. And like this, my diorama for Richard.
Let's see that.
A few
cool.
weeks ago or months ago, I had no idea how to make this or how I would do this, and this is actually one of my favorite pieces now. Just,
dude.
I mean, even the paint, like I wouldn't have painted it in this way, and this is a really, in my opinion,
Actually, do you
cool
mind
way
just
of
holding it
painting
up
stone.
again? I'm gonna
hold it
Yeah.
full screen you for a second.
I don't know how it looks grainy on my screen, but
It looks good. Dude.
It's so cool.
Dude.
I mean, the thing is, it's the cool thing is that that's instantly recognizable as that scene.
Yeah. Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
I mean, one of my big goals has been to create, like Neil from Real Terrain Hobbies, create a large scale board incorporated with, you know, my buildings or whatever. And is it practical? Hell no. Like that would be a nightmare, but it'd be a cool piece to just have. And thankfully I have a husband who is willing to sacrifice space in our place for it. And whenever we buy a house, he wants to have a whole room dedicated to that stuff. And I'm lucky to have someone who's supportive.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, that's
shout out Frankie.
Yeah, shout out to Frankie. And like I think that's, I don't know, that's important though. Like that's what's so cool is like when you're thinking, like thinking back, like actually having a dedicated space is that's kind of crucial. Like you gotta having a space to craft and build and work within is pretty nice. So I love the fact that you'll get a space for it. A dedicated one, a larger one. When you guys buy in California, awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. We can afford a nice little shack.
Dude.
Here you go. Here it is. This is what we'll be living in.
Which, by the way, that's a cool. If you haven't seen Zane's most recent video, which just premiered yesterday, you can head on over and check out his reimagined work from Where's the 2 there, Zane? There's the first craft you ever built, and then he kind of reimagined it this last week. So grab the 2 for comparison.
Let me grab the old one.
You gotta grab the 2 for comparison here. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Ow. Let me re-mic here. Okay, so this is the original. This was my first ever build, and this was all just foam core and core and cardboard.
It looks great. I love it.
And then here's my reimagined.
Just a little difference. A few new skills.
Slightly.
A few new skills done. I really like the resin that you added into the windows for that on that build. That was one of my favorite parts of the new build, Zane. Windows that you designed, right? That were thrown in.
And the door.
And the door too. Yep. I like that. Great. I like that stone that stone and brickwork on there. That looks really clean. Just a clean build.
Thank you.
The chimney looks good too.
Flicker lights for the inside, so
yeah. Yep. There's always got to be lights.
Do you remember that long ago? Now I'm thinking it's making me think of the house when Michael with the wood shingles that you cut individually and shaped that ended up connecting us and us touching base for the first. Look at that, so cool. It's reminding me of that. Like I don't even remember. That was we're fast approaching the year mark from all that. Where were you, subscriber? Where were you a year ago with your channel?
My channel just passed a year about 3 weeks ago.
Wow. Happy tube day.
So at this time I would have probably had about 10 subscribers. I'd like for the first 3 months I had less than 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
4 months.
Is that when we
Now look at you.
I know.
It's mad.
Now he's a diva.
I mean the thing is that like if there's a pattern, like you and Slavko and Derek, everyone's like growing way quicker than I grew at the beginning.
It's true. That is very true.
But I'm just gonna stay at mine, and you're gonna keep going and going and going, and I'm just gonna mooch out for you. So
it's not. I think the key thing is that we all just keep supporting each other and sending people to each other's do collaborations. This is the way things grow. Like I think a lot of the subs came off the back of little collaborations here and there. That's how you do it.
Yep.
In addition, because you're doing,
I wore your T-shirt in my last video, so
I saw you. Thank you, man. That was really cool.
Yep.
It's nice. Slavko also has a T-shirt somewhere, which I was very encouraged by. Very cool.
I mean, I think it's a matter of, in addition to collaborating, connecting with everyone in the community and working with other folks, it's also trying to improve upon the content in which you're making and providing for everyone. And I'm blown away by all of y'all, you, Zane, Slavko, Derek, like everyone. In your first like few videos, I'm like, well, look at these guys. Like it's mind-blowing work, and you guys literally are at the tip of the iceberg. So I still feel like, in some way, like I don't know, I still feel like it's all tip of the iceberg because there's just so much that in itself is whether you consider it a hobby or a part-time job, like or full-time job, like finding new ways to make better content. So, and I know all the other big YouTubers are doing the same thing. Isn't it wild? Like it's kind of a wild thing to think about, right? I would not be opposed to sitting around talking with friends and fellow crafters for the rest of my life. Like that's something I could get behind. I
think making build content consistently for a very long period of time get pretty exhausting.
Oh, like
but that's why you got to switch up your mediums. So blender, foam, clay, you know.
Definitely, the more strings you have to your bow, the better, for sure.
Or you just live stream and don't have to worry about a fucking thing when it comes to editing.
The thing about live streaming is you actually have to be good at it. Like, I'm okay in this scenario because I have you guys to talk to.
Right.
And there's a question, and then now we're having a conversation. But you and Josh from Pickle Jar and Elston's really good as well, actually.
Elston's really good as well.
Are just sitting and the thoughts come out and chatting away. I've tried streaming twice, and honestly, I'm sitting there just going like, any questions in the chat?
I agree with you.
Oh, it's horrible. I don't like it at all. I can't. It's really hard,
I'm a great conversationalist with other people, but by myself, it's all in here. It's hard for me to break away from this.
I think live streaming should be something that every content creator should do on a frequent basis, because it does break up that routine, and it gains what it does. The thing I really enjoy about it is its ability to connect to the person who is providing the content, like that immediate connection that you can have to that person. It'd be cool. Like I know it's something that other content creators are talking about doing and have done, like on their Patreons, where they set up and it's just them crafting, right? It's them hanging out and crafting a live stream session or whatever it is. But I've enjoyed like the unboxing that you've done, Michael. Zane, I know you've gone live a couple of times too. Although I'm a little biased when it comes to the live stream, because I it's what I do. Like I like that I just like that immediate connection to whoever's there. Kind of like similar to the premiere. So Zane, when you did your premiere yesterday, that's what I really like. I think you should do those all the time.
That was fun.
Content. That was a lot of fun, because Michael used to do
man,
those.
I missed it.
Yeah, they. Well, I was
It's
just saying,
like the live stream, but
it's the live chat premiere, and Zane did it yesterday, and it was very much like, it was just like, hey, I'm doing that. Like, it literally was just like, hey, we're doing it right now, and everyone like we're like, cool, and like we jumped on. But I think that live streaming for the premiere, Michael, it's something you used to do all the time for the premiere stuff, and that was a big deal for Nat One videos as well. Like, I like the premiere thing. I think that's a cool element, and I think,
will definitely be doing a premiere. I am going to do a video this week, which is a surprise video that came out of the blue just this week. I wasn't expecting to be doing it, but
you're doing it.
I'm doing one because I haven't put out content in 3 or 4 weeks more,
something like that. But it's everyone who's out there. All I can say is it's coming. It's coming, and it's gonna be fun. I like the fact that it's shifted, because you've worked very hard for this last year to produce weekly content, and I think doing I don't know. I like the quality versus I'm always quality versus quantity any day.
So I've been chatting to, like, we've got our little group that we chat together amongst each other, and I chat to Tina quite a lot, and I chat to Jared Boone quite a lot, and I want to get better at crafting. I do like being a YouTuber, but the whole thing for me is really about wanting to get better at crafting.
Yeah.
And if you are concentrating on making content every week, you're not able to up your skill level at the actual craft. Do you know what I mean? So
I do.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you making noise? Are you making a flag?
He's making a flag.
I'm seeing if I can animate it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's give Zane a little challenge here while he's on screen, put him under a little bit of pressure. How about, so we can see you're making a flag. Can you make a flag that looks like it's blowing in the wind?
Ooh. That's what I'm doing, buddy.
Boop. He just dropped it. Like, I love it. He's like, it's already the work in progress.
What?
Flag in the wind.
But I have to remember how to anchor points. Because, okay, so right now I gave it physics, so this flag will act like cloth. And if I hit play on the animation, it's just going to fall. So see how it's dropping now?
Yeah.
So we're lowering the flag.
We're lowering it. That's good. Cross from Campaign Terrain says the only reason I was able to drop a video for a week, a year for the year, was because of the Rona. If I wasn't stuck at home, not a chance.
Same
it's
here.
challenging. Yeah, I think.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead, man. Sorry,
No, you go. You go, brother.
No, I'd say it's just if it wasn't for the pandemic and everything closing down and me being stuck at home, losing my job.
Right.
I would have never had the time to actually pursue a YouTube channel.
Right.
Now, that's the scary thing, is that things are all starting to go back to normal now, and I'm going to have to start getting out. I know that, like, I'm getting asked to do videos for people now. That's going to take up time. So we'll just see what happens.
I mean, that's you bring up a really good point, and like I'm finding the same thing, brother. Like where it's trying to find time. That's where I'm like, I'm trying to do at least once a week. Yeah, the once a week, stream is always a joy, and it in itself, it's just great. But like that transition back into the full-time work schedule is coming in, but that's part of it, right? It's new, and we get time to figure it out. And we'll see what happens.
There was a really sweet spot about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, where you were streaming 3 times a week. Then there was a Saturday stream, and it was just like, this is the ideal life. And we were all like, and the chat groups are super engaging.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's there every single time.
Yep.
You've got momentum, it'd be, I mean, there'll be weeks where that'll come back, but to have that consistent momentum was really, really fun.
It is, and I think
there you go.
I think this.
Cool.
What the F? Did you animate it?
This is an old one that I did because I couldn't remember how to do it.
I wasn't expecting the animation.
You should have said like, yeah, bro, I fucking look at this thing. I'm gonna put this on my build. It's gonna blow in the wind. Like,
so is that kind of like a bot or something that automatically does it for you, that you select, or do you have to add in pathways and different things?
Blender is a wonderful tool which has many mysteries in it. It's a video editor, it's an animation program, it's a game simulator. Like, you can do it all in Blender. So this is just a physics generator that it has, where you can add variables and stuff to it. Like if we go into edit mode here.
So just reading what Cross is saying in the chat there. I've just been regurgitating stuff I already know. I mean, I totally understand that. What about picking something that you really passionately want to build and just go for building that, and that will make really cool, great, engaging content,
Yeah.
Even if it takes a bit longer, and just say to people like, sorry guys, it's going to take a little bit longer.
This stuff was passion projects, and this was before I started my channel. But for me to film this, it would be a logistical nightmare for me, just because I hate recording the process, because there's so many periods where I'm just staring at it, trying to figure it out in my head, and I don't want to have to go pull up that footage and edit that out. Like, I know, not to throw you out there, Slavko, but he was telling me with his first video, he recorded just the whole process, and then he went down and edited it. And that's a way to do it, but like for me, I think of it like a storyboard type of thing of, okay, this is a shot that I need, this is a shot that I need. And by doing that also, I have to interrupt my creative process to get that shot, and I don't know. To me, it's a nightmare. I mean, I'm sure there's people who can do it.
If you're doing things in Blender as well, I think that adds another level of complicatedness to making a video.
Zane,
like, I mean, in my head, I was like, we were talking about collaborations earlier, and in my head, I was going like, okay, so how would we go about doing a Blender collaboration where both me and Zane work together on just a Blender thing?
Yeah.
that would be really hard. But what would work potentially is if one person does physical building and the other person does blendery building, and we kind of put the two things together. Anyway,
Yeah.
more about that later. We'll have a chat.
You were saying, Colin?
I was gonna say if we were gonna be chatty Cathy's, which I absolutely like, you know.
Yeah, we can stop sharing the screen.
I was gonna say let's stop sharing the screen for a second. So let's do that. Let's do that for a second.
Bye, flag. All right, I'm stopping the share.
All right, stop the share. Boop. I'm back. I also want to make a comment up there too, like going back to looking at Cross's stuff. We're just talking about like Cross, you put up earlier, like now videos I haven't improved like at all this whole year. I wouldn't say
that's true.
I wouldn't say that's true at all. That is not, and I don't feel that's an accurate assessment, because if you go back and you look at content from a year ago to what it is now, there's vast improvement there, Cross, and that's the way it is. Like, the channel grows, and it grows as you grow. Like learning how to do this and formulating a script, right? Just even in your last video where you're like, you know what, I've got a list of bullet points here and I'm gonna keep myself on track. I was like, fuck yes, like amen to that, Cross, because that's Lord knows, like I need it too. Yeah, for sure. So I definitely think you should give yourself just a little bit more credit there, my friend, because the channel is improving and it is growing. And
where did Zane go?
He's out.
Oh, there he is.
He left the stream. It's just his stream. He's like, I'm out of here. He went to go design another thing. Also,
well, Cross asked me a question. So
say again.
I said, Cross asked me a question. He asked, how would I print a waving flag?
Oh.
And I have a waving banner that I had printed.
Nice.
And this is using that physics thing where you have the fake wind blowing the fabric, and you just freeze frame it, you pause it, and it captures that image of that movement, and then you export it, and there you go.
Nice.
It is, yeah, it is very potential. There's a lot of potential to get sucked into the whole 3D printing side.
You're not even down that, like, wait till you get down that rabbit hole. That rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, it's
crazy.
like, so I made a banner like that with a baby wipe and super glue. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
And
it was awesome.
It is cool and it's great, but then it's just seeing that you can actually do that in Blender and probably teach yourself, like, well, having a friend who knows how to do it is brilliant as well. But then I'm just kind of a bit free. I don't want to just become a 3D program guy. I just love the building of it too. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I do both.
There you go. Carl also said on here, Nat One Videos and Crazy Crafter, he did a pool of rough water. Do you think a flag is going to be a challenge for Zane? Like, I mean,
good point.
It is a good point. That just made me laugh. That was very funny. Let's see what else is in there. Come here. Need yar. Yes.
For me, it's just I like the detailed pieces that I couldn't do with traditional methods, like just because of the scale of everything. So, like, looking at my first build, everything is larger than it should be just because that's what was available to me at the time. But then with the new build, it's like, okay, now I can go in and I can do a door with really minute details, and I discovered the wire brush texture, and I mean,
that's what I noticed there. Can you hold the other build up at the same time?
Yeah.
If you just compare the wood grains, that's totally different.
Everything's tighter on the new version. But it's like this. I wouldn't be able to do the little railings and the little spindles on the railings and stuff if it weren't like, yeah, I could probably do it with popsicle sticks or something, but it wouldn't look
It wouldn't be this. Did you see the post that someone put up yesterday on the Facebook group in the Tabletop Crafters Guild that stained matchsticks and like worked just like some regular balsa wood for the tiling?
No,
I didn't see that.
Cool.
It was pretty cool. I'll have to find it and throw it up there. That was really cool.
There's some crafters in the Tabletop Crafters Guild who really do have a good ability of doing that fine detail stuff.
Yes.
But then whenever you see someone who's done something 3D printed, it is another level. It's something that I don't. Well, I mean, there are people who can do it. There are people who can do it physically, but
yeah,
that's years and years and years of skill and work.
Like me, I'm providing these for sale, so you can make your build, but say you want a door and you don't want to worry about it, just pop one of these, paint it up, and now you got fine details in your work.
Right.
It makes it more attainable for the everyday person, because I mean, really, if you think about it, the resin printers and stuff, they're not that expensive.
No.
It's about the same price as you could get a Proxon and some guards for your Proxon for. So it's just a matter of
yeah, that's
leveling.
Like that's a comment that I've had on YouTube before, is people saying, yeah, but it's like, can you do it without the expensive equipment of a Proxon kind of thing? And like 100 and whatever, £20 for a Proxon, and then you have it for life. It's not, over the course, like, I'm sure people spend £120 on stuff that's not that useful.
Which, by the way, quick announcement, Gerard's suggestions the other day about adjusting and checking the knobs to make sure the wire was tight up top worked, and my Proxon is not dead. So
awesome.
That's good. That's good.
I think it's just a matter of, you got to weigh it out for yourself. Like, I was the same way. I was like, I'm not going to buy a Proxon, that's expensive. But that was before I got really involved in the hobby. When I was just casually doing it, I was like, yeah, I don't need those things. And you don't. But if you're doing it more regularly, it's a tool that aids you, and you're going to use it. It's going to pay for itself. And
yeah, the amount of time that you save using the Proxon and what you're able to do with the Proxon versus not, especially if you're working with XPS foam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was the other thing. Before, I was just using foam core for everything, which foam core is great, but
foam core is awesome.
I've been able to achieve so many cooler details and things with XPS, and I'm really glad that I took the dive. And I had the support of you guys to help me. Michael especially, and Carl.
Yeah.
Me and Carl had the pleasure of seeing Zane's maiden voyage on the Proxon. It was very entertaining.
Oh, did you live stream it? Or where is it on Discord?
Yeah, on Discord.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool. I mean, I was going back into the chat and what was put up there too. Carl was mentioning about sticking to thing, and this is echoing both Carl and Michael. Carl's been making stuff on YouTube and crafting longer than a lot of folks that are in the hobby.
Probably all of us in this group
all of us
put together.
Right, put together. And I think it's important. Touched upon earlier is like finding something that you're excited to build, right? Something you're excited to do. And as soon as Michael said that, I had the same thought that Carl put in the chat, Cross, which is your EVA work. There's a lot of I can tell that there's a passion and that there's a knowledge that you have on working with that particular material, and that was extremely beneficial for me as I got EVA and I started messing with it. The EVA and the way I textured it and how I built my bat weight was based off of all of the tutorials from your channel. I would not have had that guidance had you not created those resources. So there's always going to be value in something that you are excited and passionate about, because someone else is going to need that excitement and passion at some point or another when they come across it. And like Zane said, that's the way YouTube is supposed to work, right? It's supposed to be there as a resource and a guide. It's also entertainment too, but primarily like it's it's such a wonderful tool where you have all these fantastic people, right, that have this expertise, knowledge, and they're willing to share it with you. It's really cool. It's really cool.
I love my foam fan.
Yeah, it's
Hashtag foam fam.
Hashtag foam fam. It's a big deal. And having that community there is, you know.
I have just had a brainwave, Colin.
Oh shit! What's your brainwave? I felt it over here. I thought it was a rat in the garage, but it was your brainwave.
It was a minor earthquake.
Well,
Now, obviously, you don't have to say yes to this straight away.
Oh shit! I'm being put on the spot. I love it.
I am putting you on the spot and saying it publicly. But the thing is that people do love the Crazy Crafter channel and the live stream, right?
Yes.
You don't have the time to stream 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You do the weekend stream, right?
Yep.
But we now have all created friendships where we kind of trust each other, and it's just, you know, we want to see that your community grow.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally say to Zane one night, or to me, or to Slavko, can you do the live stream on Monday? And you could have a different host during the week. Now that's a batshit crazy idea, because
that is a batshit crazy idea.
But it means,
Can't
right? So
ignore
say you were streaming 1 day a week, and then you have your Saturday stream. So you've got 2 streams a week, one with your guests, one with you on your own, and then on another day, you could say, Zane, will you do a stream tonight? And the same crew are going to turn up and come into the chat and be like, oh, it's Zane's night or this night. That's just a really crazy idea. I'm just putting it out there for you. But it's about how to give your channel a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot, and I put this out there for the rest of you out there in the foam family. I'm completely open, because I've thought that's during this time of life happening in this transition. Like I've had that conversation with my wife. I've had that conversation with myself of like, what is the future of the channel, and like, what do I want to do with it, right? And it's kind of hit this plateau as of recent times, and that's okay. Like that's the normal bill. And also, like, I think I'm completely, I don't know. Everyone says that this is like, you know, you can go back and forth about like, you're not supposed to live stream on YouTube. It's not the platform. Twitch is the platform. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no, YouTube's perfectly great. I think it's a great platform, and I don't know. The question that I've that's the question I've been proposing to myself, and the answer to that question is I love it, and I want to continue it, and I do want it to grow. So I'm open, and Michael, I think your brainwave is a great brainwave, and it's more.
It's just an idea to think about. It's not. I'm not actually suggesting that you actually do that, but it's just something to put into the mix.
I love the idea of that, and that's also something too that. You know, we talk about different stuff is, you know, we haven't even talked about that. Like those of you that are interested in doing live streams, that all of you have your live stream channel, like, or you have everyone who has a YouTube channel. Like if anyone wanted to, like, I look at other live streams, like I'm watching other channels and I'm like, man, your live stream that you're doing for all your viewers would look a billion times better if you did this, this, and this. All you have to do is these few things, and it gets better, which is one of the reasons why we're super lucky to have Danny. Danny helped out so much early on in the development of the channel. All of that to say, I'm saying all this, like, if there's ever any time where someone's like, I want to know more about live stream and OBS, like, let me know. Like, it's an easy thing to set up and do, and it's something now that I feel pretty good. Like that is an awesome new skill set out of this whole endeavor and through the pandemic that I did not have prior to deciding that I was going to be a live streamer. So if anyone ever needs any help with that out there, I'm more than happy to help you. And I think it would be fun, because then the one thing that makes me think about, and it makes me go, oh, and give me anxiety about the channel, is like, I'm not there to fix things when they go wrong, right? and like what happens like when you go wrong, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't want like, because I know that feeling of panic and like, oh my god, like I don't want it to fail. But that would be, if anyone, if we did end up having other folks stream and stuff, it would be very simple. Like you would just have to, I would help them learn how to use OBS, and I could easily, I wonder if there's a way, like, I don't know, this is a good question, and if anyone else out there, like, can I create the scene for you? Just like Zane creates a Blender file and sends me the STL to print out, can I create the scene and then send it to someone to use in their OBS?
Like the presets or whatever?
Yeah. Can I just send you a preset? Because if I sent the preset, holy shit, that's like easy peasy. All you gotta do is press start streaming and then wait for it to all fail miserably. But that's part of it. That's also the part of the joy of live streaming, is when I like it when it fucking fails and it goes all crazy. It's the exciting part of it. Like it's part of, that's just the
chaos.
that's part of the chaos. So anyway, I like your idea, Michael. Do you guys like that idea? You have to let us know out there in the chat. Would that be a crazy thing?
Well, I was watching the chat, and whenever I suggested that idea, two viewers left the chat. So two people didn't like it.
They fucking left. They were like, fuck you, I'm out. This is bullshit.
We only want Collin. If this idea goes, I'm out of here.
Too funny.
Oh, well.
I like that. It's something that I've seen other channels do, channels that I watch, and, they have the, much like any art or art form, having more than one source of content or, quote unquote revenue, as it were. But like what it really is not, it's less, I think about it less as revenue and more as just content that's exciting and interesting for folks, right? That's the way I view it. And other YouTube channels, not only do they have a live streaming component, but then there's a podcast component, right, where it's separate. So there's more than one thing, and it's more than just one person. I think it's very important to have multiple voices on within the stream, which is why it's so lovely we change it up every week. Someone else, we get a new voice. We get a new voice on the stream every week. And
I mean, not to interject or cut in, but
please.
We've kind of taken it upon ourselves, like say you can't make a stream during the week. If we're having that itch, we just go over to the Discord server. But I definitely think Michael's idea is better in that it'll draw in more people, because I mean, when we're on the Discord, you can only view that chat if you're involved with it, whereas if it's on YouTube, you can lurk and go in and comment, but in Discord you have to be a presence in it, and that can be a turn off for people that just want to sit back and listen and enjoy. But it's nice to have that option too. So,
but also I think that like on the Discord, it kind of more becomes like a fun group crafting session, as opposed to like and say 10 people turn up. Like how does that become cohesive?
It's definitely a hangout.
Yeah.
And I mean, essentially, that's a lot of these are, they end up it is a hangout session, but there is we do have a goal in mind by the end of the day. We are going to finish up the door tutorial. We are going to show you how to texture, how to create the bolts, how to make sure you keep this in mind when you attach this bolt into the door, that you don't have to support it when you print. Like there is a purpose to the streams, and I like that. And I think part of me is just like the crafting with Collin sessions or the fights on foam had a purpose, but there's less of a like it's still I still think it's I always fancy, personally, I always think it's extremely interesting to turn on someone. I would kill to see that's why I like the pickle jar so much. That's why I like the pickle jar, because it's Josh streaming. Not only is he engaging and holding conversation with everyone, I'm seeing his painting process, right? Same with Elston when I'm doing, like, we're seeing that process, and I'm interested in that process, and that's exciting to me, right? So if Zane turns on his fires up his computer one night and is just like, well, shit, I'm gonna create some cool stuff in Blender, and I'm crafting as well, or even if I'm hanging out and I'm doing other stuff, like, that's something that I can come back and watch. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. It's always just like, that it becomes the challenging part is, if people sign up for that and we get that schedule going, that is something to manage. That's another element to manage within
practicality of it.
Yeah, within the channel, which is it. But all that does is excite me. That excites me. I like that stuff. I'm curious, everyone out there, and maybe it's out there already, Zane and Michael, but what would you like to see? What other things would you like to see on the Crazy Crafter live stream? Put it in the chat. Send me the email. Like, I'm curious. Like, is there other components that you're like, shit, I wish you did this on the channel more? Zane, is there anything that comes to your mind? Putting you on the spot because you tune in and you've been tuning in and you've been watching it for a while.
Yeah, I'm a Crazy Crafter addict. I mean, I like I said last stream, I think it's the weird elements, like, the voiceovers. That was fun. That was something that added, it put Michael on the spot, but Michael's reaction to it added comedy to it and made it entertaining to watch. And just the little weird quirkiness additions to it just make it fun and different. And I love seeing new guests, and I love seeing reoccurring guests, and it just adds to the whole charm of it. And like people are saying in the chat, the screw ups are what make it fun and interesting. And
it came to the right place then.
The whole rat saga in your garage. Horrible for you, but it's a reoccurring funny thing for the foam family.
Yeah.
I mean, we even named it. I don't remember the name, but
we named the spider. What was the spider's name?
Oh,
Janet.
Yep.
Janet. I haven't seen Janet. What did you name the rats?
I don't remember.
I
know I had some select names for them, but my names never get picked. So me.
Oh.
I think I'm funny. That's what counts.
So what method did you end up dealing with the rat spy, by the way?
So we ended up bringing in a company to examine. It's free to get your house inspected and the place inspected. So upon further examination of the garage space, there were open. This structure. Our house was built in 1927. So the structure is old. Like, I gotta take pictures. I'll show you guys. The garage here, when we moved in, still had knob and tube electrical wiring, which, has the cotton insulation that it, catch fire and burns shit down. So this is an older structure, so it's got some cracks and holes in it, and it had some cracks and holes up near the base of the roof. And up near the base of the roof, there's one crack and hole up over here where I was hearing the noises earlier, I swear to God. And I think the noises I heard were the outside, because it's not on the inside, the outside, because all this stuff is patched and they can't get back in here. So I have a so I'll share with you what happened here. I'll tell you where the rats went. They went back next door to Chris's house, because Chris was having rat issues for forever. Then they discovered my garage because they could get in.
They watched the live stream.
Like, haha, bitch, he's in his garage. We're gonna go hang out with him. But now that this is patched up, the vents and stuff are all patched. Sides on the wall, the cracks and holes are all patched. They set traps, but ever since they've set traps and kind of like they did like the chemical treatment where it gets rid of all the pheromones, so if they've like peed everywhere and like kind of marked the territory, ever since then we haven't seen them. And Chris was like, yeah, they're back in my wall now. And I'm like I'm like, well, proof your house,
They
bro.
took a vacation to the Crazy Crafter.
They take not
garage.
welcome. They need to go. My poor wife was just like, I cannot have rats in it. Like, it is a source of anxiety for her. She's like, I cannot do it, honey.
Aww.
So we did some screen work, and we replaced screens years ago on the main house. And they're not in the main house, and they haven't been, but they were definitely over here. Although I did come in the garage today, and I was just like, something smells like it's decaying in here, and I need to go hunting. So that'll be fun. I'm glad that is another element of the stream, Zane, and Michael, that is like, like you get a glimpse into, because I'm very much of like, it's part of live stream of like, these are the events that are happening right beforehand. Like, I've had a bad morning, like that's happened. Great mornings have happened. Ben's here with me, like that's happened. Ben's not trying to, but maybe possibly destroying a Proxon in the middle of the live stream. Like, I do enjoy the fact that you get to peer in and you get a glimpse of what that's like. And I think, because I always like, it's like you get to know people, right? And everyone, that's what's great about the stream too. That's what's great about the Discord community, is getting to know everyone, and connecting with other people has always been important for me. I've just been a social person, but this last year and a half, like, now that I'm able, something that I will never take for granted. I mean, ever again, after not being able to see people in person. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal. And I say this wholeheartedly and sincerely. I do not know, like, it would have been fine, but almost this last year now, like, there was and I know Michael will attest to the same thing of, you get to see all of your work goes away, friends, you can't see friends, you can't see family. Like, I needed that creative, artistic side was, like, capped. It's like trying to plug Old Faithful. It's a geyser in a national park here, Michael. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it explodes every hour, I think, on the hour, pretty close to it, right? And the live stream was a way for me to connect with people again, but also to create again, which is I think everyone inherently needs that form of creation. That's why the hobby is so expansive, right? You could be an accountant, right? But the hobby is important. It's a way for you to do something else. And I just think the act of creating and painting, whether it's clay, it doesn't matter. Like, as kids, it doesn't matter who you are. Every kid loves painting and getting their hands dirty, right? It's just something that's that we love to do as children. And I think as we get older, it's important. It's so funny how we go back to those things, right? We go back to those things that we get to do that are fun. I'm definitely enjoying all of this, and enjoying the time with you guys, everyone who's been on the stream, everyone who is currently on the stream right now and will be on the stream. It's always a fun time. It's cool.
I will say I feel like I've connected with great people and created some really nice, close friendships with people that I would have never met had it not been for this stream and you reaching out to me those 6 months ago or however long it was. And for you, I'm thankful for that. It feels longer. That's for sure.
That's only because you know us now.
It's so weird. It does feel like a lot longer, doesn't it?
Or maybe it's just because we've all connected, so we've connected.
I talk to all y'all like every day, pretty much. So,
yeah.
And I mean, for me, art and crafting, that's my form of therapy. And I know I've said that before, and other people have said it before. And it helped me get through quarantine. It helped me moving to a new state 1,000 some miles away from where I was living. And I mean, I'm a social person, but I'm an introverted extrovert. So I go into, I hide and I don't like new situations. But once I get comfortable, then I'm good. I'll become extroverted. But, you know, it helped me deal with my issues and get acclimated to a new area, and being able to have a consistency that is this channel and you guys and everyone here. It's helped me adjust, and thank you for that. So
yeah,
art is therapy.
I mean, for me, if it wasn't for the connection with Collin and this channel and just exactly what Zane's saying, I can honestly say the last 8 months I wouldn't have been talking to anybody. Like really, this is the community that I'm chatting to on a daily basis. Just like there's you, all the guys in the chatting group. I don't really talk to other people. I've got my family here, but you don't get to see your friends during the week, and we don't phone call each other. I call my mom and my parents, but all of that's kind of gone a bit flat. So I'd have been stuck here in the house, not doing anything, not crafting. Like it just kind of, it's going to be weird whenever things really start going back to normal, because I kind of want to be on my computer chatting to you guys.
Well, here's the beautiful thing about all of this too. While we have been isolated in many ways, we've also found ways to forge that connection however we can. And Zoom is not going anywhere. Facebook, chat, Messenger, Discord, like those ways are always there. It's always a way to connect, even if it's, I think now more than ever, and it's just a constant reminder, right? Like, man, like picking up the phone and just calling someone or texting someone is such a big deal. Like, I really feel like that's important, and it's certainly the last month has been a real challenge for me, because it's just been one, life was happening pretty fast on top of, work stuff happening, but I never a day without a message of just to check, like someone checking in, saying hi. And I'm not saying that needs to happen all the time, but the result of this community, that's there now, and that I don't foresee that. It'll have its waves, right? It'll have its waves just like every other ebb and flow, but it's always going to be there. Like it's been carved into my life.
The foam.
Yeah, it's been carved into the foam for sure. It's a part of it. And I think it's just it's always going to be there. I'm seeing in the chat here everyone saying bring back the voiceovers. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it this week with Gerard. We'll make
Sorry, Michael.
Michael's like, thanks.
Well,
thanks everyone.
All right,
he's like,
here's a little sneak preview then. Not in this week's video that I'm putting out, but in my next video after that, I will be doing some silly voices.
Ooh,
yay!
I like silly voices. We've gotten all the exclusives. We've gotten all the exclusives today. We got the exclusive with Zane's Clock Tower. We've gotten silly voice exclusive from Nat One Videos. This is great. We'll do some more. Silly voices. We'll do some more stuff. If you're gonna, hey, I will say this though. I mean, that channel and that section of the Discord server has never gone away. You put the voice
still there, yeah.
You still there, like, so create whatever. It doesn't have to just be on Hero Forge. It could be wherever. If you find something, an animation,
it up for fun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, can we keep it D&D themed? Can we keep it D&D? Zane's like, that's true. With this
D&D is fantasy and create your own. So yes, it will be D&D.
No. No. But we'll definitely do that. I know we also saw on here. Let's see. more character voice. I can't feel like the character voices. Those rats are now part of the foam family. They are not part of the foam family, Mini Mason. They are not. They are not a part of my foam family. Furry foam family.
In the
friends,
words of Doctor
stop
Who
it.
and Dalek.
Stop it.
Exterminate.
Cross. Exterminate. Hold on. What else is there? Some mold making and casting would be nice, Carl says. Jesse from Night Terrain says, so Carl is suggesting some mold making or casting would be cool. Night Terrain says lighting, wiring, and electrical tutorials would be good too. Lighting,
That's a good one, yeah.
Wow. We got all this stuff on there. That'd be cool. Maybe we get that might be a fun one to have some old folks on there. Maybe we can get John from Tabletop Witchcraft to come on and do some more lighting stuff. But I mean, truthfully, if we're doing lighting, I mean, that's Zane, that's Tina. Like, Zane's got a great lighting tutorial on. Was that the first? This is one of the first videos from
the lights within that bridge.
Yeah, from the bridge. That's what I was thinking.
I think it was like my second or third, maybe.
At the video. It was early on.
I actually watched that tutorial earlier on today.
Yeah, it's
Did
a
you?
good one. It's a good one. Those are good suggestions, everyone. And if you ever have suggestions about what you want to see on the channel, or if you have concerns or things that you really are enjoying, let me know, because like it's you guys. If you'd have told me that like 8 months ago we'd be here right now, I'd have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, there's no way this is gonna, like, part of me had a hunch that this was I mean, I went with the fact that it sounded really fun, and it's something that I got really excited about, and that's why I did it, and that's why I continue to do it, and I'll continue to do it because I don't give a shit. It's amazing. It's amazing to me that we all get to sit here from around the world, literally around the world, and share ideas, thoughts, heartache, discovery, all the above. It's absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact, and if you guys get to laugh at my my pest infestation misery, all the more better, right? So cool. This is good. Keep these ideas and suggestions coming. This is great. This is great. I wake up with you guys. Mini Mason, you're inappropriate. That's Tina you're talking about. Sounds dirty, Tina. How inappropriate. All joking aside, Mini Mason says this is a wonderful bunch of people. It sure is. And you have all helped me through rough times. I think that's the whole thing. Like, that's what people are supposed to do, is help each other through rough times, right? So much love in the air. Group hugs from Tina. Group hugs to you. # love that, Tina.
I mean, the thing about it is even like knowing from an outs I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to say that all of this takes effort, Collin. Like what you've done to consistently come and stream every week, and probably streaming sometimes when you don't feel like streaming and stuff together. Like whenever things have momentum and they're going really easy and really well, it's all really great. And then you do get lull periods, and then it feels like you have to start pushing the ball back up the hill again. Like this is a natural cycle of how things happen, but like it's always possible to re-inject new innovations and ideas to get the momentum up again. You know what I mean? I do have a channel. I've always had a channel goal of trying to hit the 1,000 sub mark before the year. I thought if like that was a really
this year.
Yeah. Before the 1 year anniversary of the stream, which I believe is September 9th or 12th. So that's coming up. That's coming up. And I do wanna make that a thing. And like it's not just, you know, the low part. Like it's literally the thing where I don't know, a big part of it is you guys already do so much, you know, such a good job of this, of sharing this. And like, my big question is always, how do we like the 37,000 people on the Tabletop Crafters Guild don't know this stream exists. You know what I mean? Like that is always a big one. Like, and some people, you know, this format is not for them and they won't like it and they don't like tutorials, but it's beyond the tutorial. And I think one of the big wonderful
byproducts of the channel is the community in which it creates, right? And
Yeah.
the accessibility of that community is not, and I will never make it an exclusive thing. Being a part of the Crazy Crafter Discord will never be something anyone has to pay for. You are all are fucking welcome, and all that's something that I just want accessible. That was one of the whole things, is like I wanted to make
Whenever you've got
crafters accessible.
10,000 people in there, it'll be a little harder to manage, though.
I mean, that's okay. That'll be all right. We'll have the you think it'll get to 10,000? When it gets to 10,000, you can be like, 12, you fucked that up, didn't you, mate? You can say I told you so at that point. 10,000 people in the Crazy Crafter Discord. That'd be nuts.
I think the problem with the tabletop crafter group and everything is it's on Facebook, and Facebook is flawed in that it buries posts. Sure. And I know we've said it before, and if it's a YouTube link specifically, it's going to bury it.
Sure.
But like even on my personal page, if I share something, it's only the same couple people liking it. But that's out of the 300, 400 some people I'm friends with. And I realize I only see the same couple people because you're friends with them, but it's not showing you what they're posting. So,
right.
It's selective.
It's a very frustrating part of sharing your work. But I mean, whenever you think about it from the other side of the coin, 37,000 people sharing in the same day, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can never look at every post. You can never, and you say you see something that you do like, you may never see that post again because there's 37,000 other things to scroll through. So I understand why the algorithm exists, but at the same time, it's extremely frustrating to fight against it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, it's onward and upwards. Always that's part of the journey that we've all taken, and part of the journey too, like that. Man, all of you that have started creating channels, right? Zane, Derek as well. Saunders working on it. Like y'all are, you guys are in it now, and it's I don't know. It's a fun journey. It's a fun thing to build, and I think again, I love every I love the uniqueness, and I always glean valuable information from all of y'all whenever you're producing content. Like there's something I learn. It's always lovely to learn something new every time I watch something new from your guys' channels. It's really cool. Yeah.
Like I'm stealing Michael's mushroom design from his. Oh, that's the other thing. So Michael pointed out to me that my thumbnail for my most recent video resembles his and John's thumbnail. So, but I hadn't even seen that video of Michael's, and it was just.
Oh,
it's cool
yeah.
because all three of those videos are housing videos, or include a house in them, and it's us doing this to the build. And it was funny, but I watched Michael's video and it was great. So if y'all haven't checked it out, check it out.
It is a good time to.
Was how it all started.
Good time to plug. Our dear friend Michael's channel, Nat1 Videos. If you are not familiar with Nat1 Videos, please head on over to the links provided below. You can show some love, subscribe to him, turn on the bell notification, and then also he's got a Patreon set up that's ever growing, and if you're not following Nat1 Videos, get your head out of the crafting hole, sand, and get it in the game, because there's some amazing content over there. Most of you I know are there, but if you haven't done so either, Zane Morgan Craft, you gotta head over there, give some love to Zane. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got more content over there to absorb, that's both Blender related, and you get to see starting to incorporate those builds, how he incorporates those designs from Blender into his terrain builds too. It's really cool.
So earlier on, just a little bit earlier on in the chat, Slavko mentioned something. I'm not going to say what it was, but when's that coming out, Zane?
So that'll be with the clock tower build.
So it's going to be a little
yeah.
while. Because that
Yes and
is
no.
really,
I don't know.
I think that's really bringing something that I have not
I'm
really
trying
seen
to
a lot.
rush it a little bit so you can use the idea.
It's fine. I've actually decided not to use that idea. It's me trying to cram. It's you know the way whenever you make a video on a project, you can try and be a bit too clever and just put too much into it. It's such a cool idea. I don't want to do it for you for sure. I need to get my video out, and so no. But I can't wait to see that video. I think it's a great idea. I think
I'm
a
excited.
lot of people like that.
Hopefully it reaches. That's my problem, is reaching. But
Well, we'll chat about it whenever we're not live on stream, because I don't want to give your idea away.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have out there? Is there anything? I'm trying to think. We have a few minutes left here. I do have a lunch date with mi madre, but we would be remiss to not pop over to the share your work and take a look at the Discord real quick. So let's pop on over there and take a look.
Night Train. What's Nat One videos?
Yeah, what's Nat One videos?
Who's that dumbass?
Who's that? Oh, I see you, Night Terrain, as well. I also am I see you out there, Night Terrain, promoting and supporting all of us on.
I meant me, the dumbass, not Night Train.
I know who you're talking about. I know which dumbass you're referring to. But I
thank you for that.
Thank you for those shout outs on social media, Night Terrain. That means a lot to us, and that anything that's boosting that is pretty dope. We appreciate the love. Okay, let's check out some share your work. Look at this. Let's go back. We're gonna go. Oh my God, all this freaking stuff. Oh yeah, here's mine. I gotta send another updated shot of this. I did this from the other day with Slavko last weekend. But I've got the walls. The walls have been drawn and cut out. I just need to attach the walls together and then glue it and then texture it. And this, I don't think I'm going to do a roof on this one. I just want it kind of like open, but I can still remove the walls if I want to. But super, super fun build from last weekend. If you haven't seen it, you can head on over to the Crazy Crafter.
Slavko understands good lighting.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
He
does.
really does.
We're gonna take
It's
a
weird.
look.
It's like he works in stage lighting.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
weird. Like he works in stage lighting. So weird. So weird.
I'm gonna have to have a chat with him too, because I want to improve that side of my videos.
Yep. Always stuff to work on. This is Derek's castle build. Speaking of aspiring to work on stuff, how about this castle? This castle, ladies and gentlemen.
So good.
So good. So cool.
But see, that's the stuff I want to do. How he's including the grounds and everything around it.
Yes, I agree. The basing.
I just think it adds to it.
The basing on this is spectacular, Derek. So cool.
I mean, so like Derek was in the chat, he was saying about to film while building all of this and stuff, it just would have been a nightmare. But it's at the same time, I just go like, but it's such a shame, because that is a video that I would love to watch, you know.
Yeah, same here. I want to build it, Derek. I want to build it. It'd be funny to see me try to use a ruler and build this.
You're welcome, by the way.
Oh, that was my favorite part of I shammed the ruler from the video yesterday. Zane messaged me and he was just like, hey, can I? He's like, I think I know the answer to this, but are you okay with me pulling some footage? And I'm like, oh, he's making fun of me. Absolutely, you can. 100%. You never have to ask. Just do it. And he's like, hey. And like, I feel like if you did that instantly, Zane, that from the time you messaged to the time you produced that video, that was really quick and very impressive. Or it was already made. Nope. I don't know.
Nope. I was doing it as I was texting you.
You were it was very, very funny. I shammed the ruler! I want that, like, I want it as an audio clip. It should be a soundbite on the stream now. Anyway, back to this insane build here, Derek. So cool. I love the little rope.
I mean, even the bricks or the stones varying, and it's so good.
It's really good.
and it's so playable as well. Like
Yeah.
the inside,
Yeah.
inside the circular tower.
Yeah.
That's got scenarios written all over it.
It's classic. I love the red and white checkered tile here on the base floor. So cool, these pillars. I ordered some pillar jigs and my circle jig from Shifting Lands, by the way, so those are on their way. Yay. I gotta have a circular jig so I gotta get to work on a diorama here, guys. I gotta make my Lord of the Rings diorama. I gotta start thinking about that in more detail. Look at this. I love this.
Frodo pushing Sam into the water, yeah.
Yes, yeah. You can't come, Sam. I'm gonna kill you in the water. You gotta go away, Sam.
Have you guys been listening to the new podcast, The Friendship Onion?
No. That's with, it's
Billy
with
Boyd and Don Monahan.
Dude, I love those two. Those are really good actors.
And this week, Elijah Wood was a guest on it.
Oh, nice.
So, like, it's just generally chit-chat, but they do touch on Lord of the Rings stuff every week. It's pretty cool.
What did they talk about? Anything that they shared particularly this week about Lord of the Rings that you were like, holy
They were talking about just some of the music that they listened to whenever they were, on set. And Don Monahan was talking about I think it was on the last day of filming where it was a wrap, and Elijah Wood was like super excited that it was all over, and Don Monahan was having a nap. And Elijah just burst into his trailer and just said, "It's a wrap! It's a wrap!" And Don Monahan said it was the first time they ever had a proper argument, and he just shouted like, "Fuck off!"
He's like, "I was napping, you motherfucker."
Basically little stories that you don't get on the DVD extras.
Love it. That's why podcasts are so cool. Slavko did continue on his ruins. He was working on the live stream last Saturday. These look great. I'm trying to do more of it. Incorporating like the actual wood in with the film, like incorporating multiple textures and materials together is the shiznit. This looks really cool, Slavko.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of watching things in delay. I was going to ask because I was looking at the windows that Derek had done there, and I was going to ask a question about the windows of Derek's.
Oh well, we'll let's drool over the Slavkos here in a second, and then we'll go back to the windows.
I've now caught up. I'm now on Slavkos.
Slavko.
So good.
Yeah, so groovy. How are you getting the deeper textures in the balsa wood? Is he just using the X-Acto to carve that? Is that what you're using there, Slavko? Because that's pretty good. I'll show you what I'm still trying to mess around with this carving knife, Michael, and like trying to get more, like, it's really, I've got like a bunch of test pieces. Like I'm more into like, I've spent more time messing around with this carving wood because on the balsa wood, it carves so beautifully because the wood's so soft. And I'm having fun creating
with foam. Like with wood, you can just press the knife in and just do a slice carve kind of thing. But with foam, you might need to.
Oh, he just used a pencil. He said.
Pencil. Nice.
In the
speaking of working on stuff, how's that paint job on the sewer going, Collin?
The paint job on the sewer is based. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you here in a little bit. Before we take off today, I got just like the gunmetal laid down on the sewer and then the brick. Like I didn't
think you actually painted anything.
I totally got a little bit painted. I had to let it dry. Like a damn ninja. That looks quite amazing. Here's the shack build with the fingers, the patented YouTuber crafting stuff. With the Nat 1 video shirt on, no less. Look at that. That's amazing. This first view video effort reimagined is cool. It's the actual intro here. I'm not gonna spoil it.
I've sold 3 shirts. I know 2 people who have them. I don't know who else is the third. Some stranger out there.
I've sold about 7. not
Dude.
You're
to
kicking my
brag
ass,
on
dude.
it, but like
Not to brag, but I'm kicking your ass in shirt sales, he says.
no,
I mean,
but like
it's a pretty cool shirt.
I don't
to
think
be
I've
honest.
seen
It
a
is.
link for his. I had to ask Michael for his merch, so
Oh.
but it's cool seeing like a couple people from work have them and they're walking around and I'm like, yeah.
I love it. I need to get. I'm not up to speed on my swag for everyone. Zane, I still gotta send you. I have to send you some swag. I need to send. I need to send you that swag. So you gotta get. You gotta.
I will take the swag.
West Coast Armory represent.
Yeah, I saw Michael wearing it last week. I was
Yep.
like, yeah, or Saturday.
Cool t-shirt.
It is a cool T-shirt. It's very comfy. Carl is designing a bunch of stuff here in the 3D realm as well, and I love all this. I can't wait to see how you incorporate that into your builds, Carl. That's going to be super fun. This is looking fantastic, my friend. Where
Yeah, I'm
am
not
I?
saying anything, but Carl and I have been in communications,
Oh yeah.
and he's doing awesome. I mean, he's had prior Blender experience, but he's awesome.
He's another one that can just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna figure that out. You know what I mean?
And
Just a good crafter.
I believe he edits his videos in Blender.
No, really?
Yeah, I
Yeah, he
think
does,
that's
yeah.
what he told me.
In Blender?
Yeah, he does. Yep.
Yep.
Holy shit. Learning something new. That's really dope, Carl.
So,
The wind. You had a question about Tina. You are building. You're building the corner here. Look at this, like log cabin status on this corner. That's looking really cool. She's using not hot glue. She's making Gerard very proud.
Yeah, I'm a hot glue monster, so
I am too. What is your question here for Derek on the windows, buddy?
so it's just the layered effect. I'm curious, was Derek doing that as a crafter before he knew about Gerard, or was that something that he picked up off Gerard?
Tell us.
It's a great
Yeah, it is great.
method.
It is a great method. Let's go back here to boop. We'll come back over here to our fanciful screen. We'll take that away, and we're gonna get ready and wrap up here in just a second. Derek is still. Are you still on there, Derek? So you do need a Proxon. Everyone needs a Proxon. Scott Phillips, you can rad. I'll ask you lots of questions. Carl, you're gonna get a 3D printer. No 3D printer, but I have friends who have 3D printers. Oh yeah, make them do all the. I mean, that's the way to do it because it's a lot of maintenance. Chris Fort, I'll send you a picture and I'll put it up in the Discord. Like his last time, we have a special gift that we are printing up for Richard. Richard, don't watch this stream. But we have a little something that is in the works for him. And Chris Fort used the 3D printer the last time, and I'll send you the picture of the state he left it. And I sent him a picture back saying, "You get to change the FEP film, motherfucker. Like you are changing this. That you are changing this." And he's like, "Oh, sorry. You are changing it." Chris Fort, come over and change my FEP film. I want to start printing stuff. I've got stuff to print that Zane has taught me how to build. I want to print this door. Oh, real quick, it's. Mine does not look as good as yours yet, but it's coming. I've got this.
This is like a 5-minute paint job. Come on, Collin.
Whatever. I'm trying to run a stream, look at Blender, learn shit there, watch the chat,
Excuses.
find out where the rats are in my garage. Like it's a hard knock life. Okay.
I think we need to blame Derek on the rat problem because it was around the time that the sewer build happened.
Oh, that's true. The rats were like, "Well, there's a sewer over here. Wait, there's no sewer. What's up? There's no sewer." Derek says, definitely pick that up off Gerard, Michael. I think that's when Gerard was on Black Magic Craft a couple years ago.
I watched that episode. Yeah.
He demoed it and stuck with me. Yep, that's a good one. I'm just saying, no big deal. Gerard has been on my channel twice, Jeremy. So
He's coming on this Saturday as well, isn't he?
yeah, that's the plan. We're just gonna hang out. We don't have a specific tutorial. It's kind of a little bit of catch up. I plan on trying to. My goal is to finish the mini Mason build from last week. Although maybe it might be a cool time. I am working on the giant stony tankard still. That might be kind of a cool time to have Gerard on and pick his brain about that. There's so many different things you can do. We're not doing a specific tutorial other than just having Gerard on. If you've got questions for Gerard, that's going to be a fun time to pop on. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to get his... I got to get... I think, well, maybe I talked to Tina, said she might send it to me too. Whatever, I got to figure out a way to get that book. I want to check that book out. That book looks awesome. But it'll be fun. We'll have a fun weekend. This Friday... What is happening this Friday? Let me look at my schedule.
Collin's going to stream.
Oh shit! It's gonna be a little later, but yes, I do. I have to get my wife's car needs to go back to the mechanic, but that might still happen. I have to drop it off at 8 a.m. Oh, it'll be 10 a.m. We'll do the 9:50. I'll be back by then. Perfect. We'll get Ben to summer camp, and then we will drop a car off, and then we will have some fun and hang out here on the stream where. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do this Friday. I have so many things I have like a slew of stuff to paint still. So, Jesus. If I can get Chris Ford to change his FEP film, maybe I print out some doors and I can work on a bunch of little doors. It'd be cool. I really want to kick into High Gear. We're going to start playing June 18th. First session back in person for D&D is happening here, at Casa de Bresi. So excited. We are beyond. I'm just gonna spend the night crying. The fact that my friends are all here and like we're playing D&D in person, I'll just be a giant mess. But I also want to build more stuff for the tabletop. I mean, I need to build more stuff for the tabletop. There's a giant dwarven cemetery, modular ruin after modular ruin. I have a year and a half's worth of builds that are just like. That weren't here, so there's not like
those shelves over your right shoulder. That looks like the perfect place to just set those builds.
I need to. So the other one, there's the builds. So the builds. There's gonna be multiple shelves that are needed. There's already this cabinet here to my right is already the old pantry from our house, but I moved it out here to the garage when we got a new one because. We needed a place to store canned goods and also the initial crafts. I call it the initial crafts. Like there's 3 giant bins of scatter terrain from like ruined brick walls, dungeon stackers, cave tiles, like basically early black magic craft builds are in that pantry right there. So I'm going to I'm not kidding. When I messaged the group the other day when I was, Luke was reorganizing his space, which looks really cool. I definitely need to clean my space up and reorganize it because I'm running out of space. It's great. What a problem to have.
Right.
All right, y'all.
Getting some good feedback. Derek earlier mentioned that he likes the stream most whenever it's a chatty kind of stream, kind of like what it's been today.
Yeah.
And then they've just mentioned it again here, and Slavko's agreeing. I think it does have momentum to it whenever you're just like sitting chatting along, and rather than like necessarily following specific builds and different things like that.
Well, maybe that's what it pops up and it goes along. If that's the case, then that's what we're doing this Friday. Join me this Friday. I'll have the link up there in the once you join the stream and you're here watching it. I'll throw the link up to Zoom. So if you want to come on the show and hang out and chat for a little bit, and whoever wants to come on and chat and hang out, we'll do that. I'm gonna craft whatever I can craft, and I'll chat with y'all, and you can call in. So don't miss this Friday. Come chat and hang out. That's what we're gonna do. And then Zane's gonna find a character for me to do a voiceover for, and then he'll put it up in the Discord, and I'm gonna regret life immediately, but it'll be okay. He'll find something for me. Oh my
He's
goodness.
got an idea already.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does. He's got all the. He's been waiting for this moment. Cool.
I've been plugging it, trying to make it
Trying to
into
make it
a
a thing.
reality. Yep.
Well, Zane, as always, thank you so much for joining us on the stream.
Thanks for having me
Oh yeah.
again.
Oh yeah. We will do it again very soon, and we'll get you back on, and we'll hang out. We'll hang out. We'll do some more crafting. Hey, Natwin Videos, pleasure
Yo.
hanging out with you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
That was
man.
cool.
Always joy. Thank you all for joining us out there. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, best way to subscribe, or best way is to subscribe to the Crazy Crafter live stream. Be sure to turn on that bell notification so you're notified when we go live, when we're hanging out, whether it's chatting, discussing the deep philosophical connections and benefits of crafting to our everyday lives, or just hanging out and learning something cool and new like we did today, finishing up how to texture your very own doors in Blender, right? You can find it all here on the Crazy Crafter live stream. Till then, I'll see you guys on Friday. Be sure to craft your passion daily, and we'll see you all then. Cheers, y'all. Be well.